From the KMNN studios, this is the Kids Morning News Network.
It's Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Welcome back to KMN. This is Alex in the KMN newsroom in New York. No podcast yesterday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Day. You may have learned something about Dr. King. He grew up in Atlanta, where his father was a minister, and he was a decent student in high school, B average, interested in history and English. He experienced a lot of racial discrimination when he was growing up, things that understandably made him very angry. He passed an exam to start college early. He began when he was just 15, and while he was there, he decided that becoming a minister would give him a platform to help people fight against discrimination. And as he studied how to fight for justice, he decided that meeting the hatred of others with his own anger was not what he wanted to do. He decided that being kind did not mean being defenseless, that he could be peaceful and powerful at the same time. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Well, Dr. King was a minister, and today is National Religious Freedom Day. So if you're religious, congratulations. And if you're not, congratulations too. You're free to be either one, or something in between. In the United States, we have the First Amendment to the Constitution to thank for that. It was adopted in 1791, back when this country was very new, and it was a big change from the traditions of a lot of older countries where there might be one religion that the government approved of. Like a lot of things the United States proposed when it began, this was kind of radical. The First Amendment also guarantees us freedom of speech, a free press, freedom to assemble peacefully, and the freedom to ask the government to fix things that are wrong. Time for today's riddle. We're going to start with the answer to last Friday's riddle, leap year riddle. How many months this year will have 28 days? It's a leap year. Think you know? All of them. They all have 28 days and then some. It's kind of a trick question, trick riddle.
Whoa!
Here's our Monday riddle on Tuesday. Try to make them easy at the beginning of the week and get harder as the week goes along. Today, what kind of cup can't hold milk? What kind of cup can't hold milk? Answer tomorrow. An update on the Peregrine spacecraft. You remember, it launched last week and it was headed for the moon. It would have been the first spacecraft from the United States to land on the moon since 1972. There's no one on it, but it was going to do some experiments and kind of get everybody ready for people going to the moon in the next year or two. But after it launched last Monday, it leaked the fuel it needed to land on the moon. At first, it looked like it'd be able to reach the moon's orbit and do some experiments there, even if it couldn't land. Well, sorry to say, that's not going to happen either. Given the damage to the rockets trying to reach the moon could leave Peregrine stranded somewhere in between, a piece of space junk that could endanger other spaceships. So Peregrine's gonna take one for the team, gonna use some of the fuel it has left and aim itself toward Earth and burn up in the atmosphere. It's not a total loss though. Peregrine did run some experiments on radiation in space and test out a navigation system, just didn't run them on the moon like it planned. No word on when exactly Peregrine will make its fiery return to Earth. You're a shooting star, Peregrine. Shine on. Well, Peregrine's going to burn up in the atmosphere, but at least it'll be warm. Today, nearly 80% of the U.S. is seeing below freezing temperatures. Oh, it's so cold in some places. Las Vegas, you're going to be down near freezing tonight. Richmond, Virginia, a low of 17 tonight. And Rapid City, South Dakota, you're waking up from a 17 below wind chill. Yikes. There's snow and ice across pretty much all of the northern two-thirds of the country this week. I mean, you know who you are. Stay warm and stay safe out there. I'm not ending with a poem today, but I do want to talk about a book. On this day, a hit novel was published a few years ago. Well, not a few, more like 419 years ago. Actually, it may be the first modern novel that is a book that is fiction. It's called Don Quixote. It's a satire, a kind of comedy about a man who reads so many books about knights that he thinks he himself is a knight, even though he's living hundreds of years after the knights were around. The book is all about Don Quixote's thoughts and feelings, which was a whole new idea when it came out. Before that, books were often about quests and things happening, but not so much about what the characters thought and felt. But these days, you've read books, that's what they're all about. So Don Quixote, more than 400 years ago, changed the way people read and write and tell stories. And it's still being read. So if you like your reading list this year, you've kind of got Don Quixote to thank for it. And that's the Kids Morning News. Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow. This is Alex in the KMNN Newsroom, signing off.